Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
So, Cindy, what challenge shaped you into who you are today?
Well, I am a retired educator, and as an adult, I got a diagnosis with ADHD. So I had been working with students that had ADHD, and I thought, I recognize some of these symptoms in
Yeah.
myself, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to help people. So I started the business on the side of coaching while I was teaching, and now I'm retired and doing it full time.
Amazing. So many entrepreneurs actually more like have ADHD, and what are some common challenges they face, and how do you help them overcome them?
One of the biggest ones is time, managing time. People with ADHD kind of have a different view of time than other people. Everything in their brain is now and not now. There's nothing in between. And so they a lot of times will wait until the last minute, right up until a deadline, and they don't plan how long things will take to do. And so they're running out of time, things like that. So that's one of the things that I help people with. But I think what's even more important is managing your focus. And so some people say, well, people who have ADHD can't focus. That's not true. We actually focus on too many things at one time. So it's a matter of doing what matters in the time that you have, not necessarily wishing you had more hours in the day. So I do help people with little brain tricks and hacks to keep their focus on what it should be on.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So you develop the focus or spirit method. Can you actually explain what it is and how you help entrepreneurs reclaim their focus?
Yeah, it's very simple, really. Some people will try to plan their day off this giant to-do list, and they have all these things on there, and some of them are important and some of them aren't as important, but they kind of look like they're all
Yeah.
equal. And sometimes they'll end up spending the whole day on things that are not important, and they think they're being productive because they're busy, but they never really move closer to their goals. So I encourage people to pick no more than 3 high impact tasks to focus on each day. So they can do more than that, but there needs to be a focus on 1, 2, or 3 really important things so that at the end of the day, if those things happen, it's going to move the needle in their business or their life. And if those things don't happen, there will be a negative consequence. The sprint method, you take one of those tasks, and if it's real big, you break it up into small pieces, and you take one piece and you put aside all distractions and set a timer. I'd say start with 20 minutes. You can work up to a little bit more,
Yeah.
and you just focus all of your undivided attention on this one thing for just 20 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, you take a break. 5-minute break. And it is amazing. It sounds so simple, but it's amazing how much you can accomplish when you've set aside distractions and you're focused. And having a short time period like that means that you don't really have time for your mind to wander. If a thought does pop in your head, I tell people just write it on a sticky note, put it aside. You can look at it later, then go right back to what you're supposed to be concentrating on.
Yeah, wow, amazing. Such a lovely more like blueprint. So how does ADHD actually more like affect productivity differently than just getting distracted? And why is it important to work with your brain, not against it?
Yeah, I think that, I'm a person of faith. I believe
Yeah.
everybody was created on purpose for a purpose. And so trying to be like somebody else and be somebody that you were not created to be is frustrating. And you're going to find some failure when you're doing that and discouragement. So I always tell people just figure out how your brain works. And that's what I help people with in my group coaching program. And once you learn how you might think about things differently than other people, then you can actually work with that and use it to your advantage and even have a competitive advantage over others, because sometimes you're more creative, problem solver, kind of thinking outside of the box. And so you have to manage challenges, but if you can figure out what your strengths are and really try to also capitalize on your strengths, then that's where you're really going to see success.
Yeah, wow, amazing. Thanks for actually more like sharing how one could actually get to do it. Yeah, it's really amazing. So, what daily habits or routines do you recommend for maintaining focus and reducing being overwhelmed?
Yeah, how you start your day matters. So don't check email first thing in the morning, because once you do that, you are actually, your day is now belongs to somebody else. You're answering to somebody else's agenda. Instead, you want to have your own plans for the day and let that be the driving force. So that's why I say pick 3 or maybe even less focus tasks for the day. And I have people write them on an index card the day before. So they're planning their day the night before. And then when they come in and they sit down at their desk, those 3 things are right there. And another daily habit is to use a planner. I have one I recommend, but really I say the best planner is just the one that you're going to use. It could be digital, it could be paper, but don't try to hold everything in your head. Write everything down, because once you try to hold things in your head, it takes up mental bandwidth, and your short-term memory is affected if you do truly have ADHD. So writing things down and getting into the habit of looking at the planner on a regular basis, keep it in the same place. And the little things that you do daily over time have a cumulative effect, just kind of like investing money. It has compound interest. It's the same way. So if you were going to have a health goal, for instance, and you exercise one day, you're not going to really see that much.
Yeah, so true. Yeah.
Next day. But if you exercise every day for 2 months, you're going to see a huge result.
Yeah.
So it's that same way with any positive habit that you want to develop in your life.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, pick 3 things to focus for the day, write things down, form a habit of checking it every now and then. Yeah, amazing. Thank you. So mindset is a huge part of success. What mindset shift do you think are essential for entrepreneurs?
Yeah, well, I mentioned one, and that is learning how to manage your focus as opposed to trying to manage your time. Because you can't really manage time. I mean, we have 24 hours in a day, just like everybody else, and you can't do anything about that. I mean, while we've been talking, time has been passing.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do about it. But your focus, you have a little bit more control over. And so I would say learn how to manage your focus. And if you don't know how and you need some help, that's what I do. Find a coach, whether it's me or somebody else, to help you get on track and stay on track. Another mindset shift I mentioned too is to not always look at your challenges, but also figure out what your strengths are and really try to spend some time developing those strengths, because there's a lot of moving parts that you have to manage as an entrepreneur. Excuse me. But if you can find 1 or 2 things you're really good at, maybe you even delegate the other things, or find a VA that could do them for you. If you really do the things you're good at, you're going to find a lot more satisfaction. Being an entrepreneur, you need that encouragement by doing some things you're good at.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much for sharing also what something mindset they could actually put in place. Focus. Don't always look at the problem or the difficulties, and the fact that work only on your strength. And I think that's a very lovely way to productivities and delegate the things you're not good at. Yeah, amazing. So how can our listener start implementing ADHD-friendly strategy, even if they don't think they have ADHD?
Yeah, well, I'd say over 50% of the people that come through my coaching program don't have an ADHD diagnosis. The type of things that I teach that are ADHD friendly work for anybody with what I call a busy brain. If you just have a lot of things going on in your head, a lot of different things that you're working on, and a lot of ideas in your head, and things like a lot of things you want to remember, these things work. And so again, I say, if it's just getting, you can get free information on the internet, but if just information alone is not enough, then get some help to implement that. That's what coaching is about. We give not only strategies, but I say it's 3 S's: strategy, structure, and support. So I take the strategies and I help you structure a framework for success that fits your specific situation. I keep my groups small on purpose so that I can help people individually. And then the support, you need accountability, you need support, you need somebody to bounce ideas off of and troubleshoot when you don't meet your goals. And so I think that's really beneficial.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Cindy. Yeah, it's really amazing. So, are there any more like upcoming projects or program or resources you're excited about and you want my audience to know?
Yeah, I have a couple of new things I'm doing for this new year. I have a new program that's kind of a stepping stone in between um, doing nothing and my coaching program. And so instead of meeting every week on Zoom, this group just meets once a month. And there's some other monthly support, and it doesn't cost as much and it's less of a time commitment. So that's um, something new that I'm offering. And I have a couple of other workshops that I'm doing, some other things that I'm excited about. So yeah, the best thing to do would be just to get in touch with me, and I can find out what the person's needs are, and then I can tell them what all I've got. I'll give your listeners a free course on how to beat procrastination. So that way they'll get on my email list, and every week I give free tips, strategies, in an email newsletter. I don't spam, but I do send emails when there's an event coming up. So like for instance, I have a free webinar this week and I let people know about that. So it's really a masterclass on a webinar. And that way people hear about things.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you so much. So, for my audience who want to reach out, I know you are, how can they get the free resources and how can they get your book and your email to what should they look out for?
Yeah, well, if they want the free course, they can go to waitnomore.net, waitnomore.net. And that's a course on procrastination. That will put them on my email list. Anytime they get an email, if they just hit reply, I'm the one who reads those. It's not a bot, not AI, it's me. And so if they have any questions or anything like that, they can contact me. And of course, my book is on Amazon. Evidently, there are other authors named Cindy Baker. So make sure you get the blue cover and the yellow letters that says Focus to Fortunes.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Cindy, and thank you for the load of insight you just gave us. It's really amazing, especially when you make reference of, pick 3 things for the day, keep habit of writing things down, from habit of looking at them to focus. Yeah, time actually doesn't wait. Maximizing the time owing to you set priorities for everything you get to do, and the fact that prioritize what you can do better and leave out those other ones that delegating it. Yeah, it's really amazing having you on the show, and thank you for your load of insights, your experience, practical and strategy, and insight with us today. For some listener who actually want to implement Cindy Mentor and take control of their focus, visit Wait No More for our free course on beating procrastination, or check out our book. This has been the Making of Me podcast. A reminder that clarity and focus aren't habits, they are tools to reclaim your energy and your dream. Once again, it's really a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.